Let us discuss how to do lead code most effectively. Like when you have a shortened time for the tech interview, like a week's worth of time is left, and you need to get in as many problems, hopefully, one of each category, like arrays and graphs and heaps and hash maps, like that. But even then, you need to, in order to do it effectively, like you need to have an approach and say, for example, uh, like you can try to solve the problems yourself, but it's better to take the technology like ChatGPT's help in order to make it very faster. So, like for example, this lead code 19 problem, the bulb switcher, wherein initially all the bulbs are off. In the round one, you turn all of them on, and then in round two, you alternate, and then every second bulb you turn on. And in the case in the third round, you turn on every third bulb. So after n rounds, you need to tell the number of bulbs that will be turned on. So you can spend a lot of time analyzing what this problem is and how to solve this problem. It looks very complicated if you are not aware of the solution. So it's better to actually take ChatGPT's help. So in this case, for example, so I gave like explain problem 319 or explain bulb switcher problem to ChatGPT, and let me get this out of the way. How does this move out? Yeah, let us move it out. So a bulb ends up being toggled in each round where this is a divisor. Like for example, in the case of bulb 6, it will be toggled in bulb number 1 because you're turning on everything, and then second, and then third, and then the sixth one. So sixth rounds, these are the rounds. So for a bulb to be turned on, it has to be toggled odd number of times because it starts in a off position. So that's what we have to find: how many bulbs will be toggled odd number of times in a given n rounds. If you sit down and analyze this mathematical problem, so every time, as it says here, is the divisor of that position. But one specific property of the perfect squares is they have odd number of divisors, because like if it is 6, for 2 times 3, and then 3 times 2 becomes 6, but for 4 or 16, for example, right, 8 times 2, 2 times 8, but 4 times 4, so 1 4 1 2 4 and 8 are the divisors, along with 16 as well. So that's why it is 5 divisors. So the perfect squares have odd number of divisors. So is the perfect squares. So if you are n rounds, there are square root of n perfect squares before n. So that's why the problem just boils down to returning just one liner, one function square root of n. So you could have spent a lot of time analyzing this problem on your own, and but just by knowing this, if it is asked in an interview, it is very easy for you, and then it becomes easy. So another problem which you can do is, like I'm going to tell, I'll take another problem because this one turned out to be a very simple one. Let me toggle to text edit wind. So another problem I'll take is the lead code problem number 560, subarray sum equals k. So I just told ChatGPT, like, let me clear out these things, annotate and clear all drawings. So let's get back to, okay. So I told ChatGPT is to just explain problem 560, and it just went on this entire thing. Basically, it's it said what the problem is, detailed explanation of the problem. Then it gave me a example. Of course, this is from Leetcode's website itself, and this gives me the key insight. To solve this problem effectively, we need to avoid the brute force method, which would take n squared complexity, and instead, we can use a hash map to keep track of cumulative sums and their frequencies as we iterate through the array. So it just gave me solution and explaining we need to maintain a running sum of the elements. We'll use the hash map to store the frequency of cumulative sums encountered. And for each element, we check if there is a cumulative sum that, when subtracted from the current cumulative sum, equals k. So this is how it is building the solution, and so it is giving the steps as well. Iterate a hash map, iterate through the initialize the hash map, sorry, and then iterate through the array, and then for each element check if cumulative sum minus k exists in the hash map. If it does, then you know there is a contiguous subarray which is equals to sum k. And so let us stop it and let us see. Let us go back into the text pad, and then I'll show you what I did next. Is basically I told ChatGPT to give me a C++ solution. Let us get back and clear all this stuff. Clear our drawings. So I asked ChatGPT, hey, give me C++ code to 560, and asked them to give logging as well as test cases. So it gave the entire code, but I just had a snippet here. If you do that, it will give you the complete code. And it adds even logging as well. So it just, you can add extra logging, but it gives me, like, if I take this code and then it has added the test cases as well. So let us move to text edit again, and so see it has added the test cases as well, and um, and then you can take this entire code, and then go to an online compiler or your own Visual Studio, and then run it, and then modify the test cases to whichever one you want, and then modify the output slightly. And so you these cases which help you your problem understanding much better. So use ChatGPT to actually speed through the problem to get through a lot of don't waste time just trying to think through the solutions, and then you will not cover as many problems as possible. And if you will be lucky if the interviewer asks the questions you worked on, otherwise you'll be unlucky. So that's it. Let me know your comments. Please like, share, subscribe to this channel. I would appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.